creditors. Our program is often superior to bankruptcy, consolidation, or settlement. Visit freetoprosper.com to find out more. This is your real chance to act ahead, so don't delay. Your future may depend on it. Call 718-615-0123 to learn more. That's 718-615-0123. Or visit freetoprosper.com today.
Let me you make decisions without your television. Let me hear you speak.
What a fascinating conversation we're having with Ron Stevens so far, folks. This is really good, and I want to get into it some more, but we got some calls in queue. And, folks, anytime you guys want to call in with your questions or comments, the number to call, 877-598-8549. That's 877-598-8549. Ron, the first caller that I have that'd like to ask you a question is Brian from South Carolina. Brian, you're on the air. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good, Joe. How are y'all doing? Hey, AC. Hey,
doing just fine.
Ron, the question I have is, in the United States, I think I'm speaking for a lot of people, a lot of folks feel like the international elite are trying to put us in the same boat that Canada, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom are in, where we're and Australia too, where we're basically a hybrid between what we have and say, a communist Russia. And that's just the way we see it down here. I don't know if it's like that up there or not, but I know y'all's gun control laws are real tight, a lot tighter than ours. And you feel the government puts you under the thumb and threaten your freedom. Do you feel that you have less power as an individual because you don't have the freedom to bear arms that we have? Do you think you would be in a better situation, or you'd be treated differently if you did?
We have. You still have the right to have a gun up here. The only difference here, you register your gun. Okay, so the government knows how many guns you got. They have to be locked up. They got the restrictions and that. So we haven't had our guns taken from us. I think Australia's pretty much had their guns taken. England's had their guns taken.
Right.
So, no, when you said the first part there about us all being under the same umbrella, you're absolutely correct. And what I keep telling the American people, because you are as proud a Canadian as I am, I'm not a fool enough to think anything other than if it hasn't, the American Constitution, okay, is the only thing that is saving us, all of us, from going down. And they've been chipping and tearing at your Constitution for a long time now. And the day that Constitution finally fails is the day that we're all screwed, large, okay? They're going to restrict your food, your medicine, your hospitals. They're going to restrict everything. This is going to be worse. This is going to be worse than communist Russia if it's allowed to go through. This is the plan. You look at what they're taking from you. Okay, they took away the tariffs. Free trade is the media cons people into believing that free trade, NAFTA, GATT, and all that is good for the country. It is exactly the opposite. Okay, you can't compete with a product coming from China, which costs them $1 to make. You can't make the same product with a $5 labor cost and sell your product. So without the trade tariffs, we're screwed. They managed to con the people into allowing their manufacturing to be put offshore. It's been a slow gutting out of our country, of our ability to stand on our own 2 feet. Now they've laid the debt load on top of us, okay? And that's IMF, World Bank, UN. It's all the same ball game. It's a big spider's web, and we're all guilty of it. We've allowed this to take place over a very long period. And the media keeps telling us it'll be okay. And we go, okay, I still got some funny money in my pocket. Everything's fine. I'm not personally threatened. And that's what they've been doing. I mean, I work down in the States. I love it down there, but I see what's going on. The American people are not the proud people they used to be. Okay? Nor are the Canadian people. We've lost our pride as people. And when you lose your pride as a people, you lose your country.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Brian.
Exactly.
And we got to get our pride back.
Well, you touched on some things there. I know China last week issued an ultimatum. They said, do not, and we mean do not, dishonor the Chinese people by not honoring these treasury dates. And that's basically, I told a gentleman yesterday, I said, the average person just does not know what's going on in this country right now. The people that control the Federal Reserve are meeting down at Jekyll Island, and they basically control the future of Americans, and what decisions they make decides our country. And I, for one, think that it's time for that to stop.
Yeah, but see, what you have is you've got criminals controlling our monetary systems. Okay, and it's like Griff said, all of this debt. China is threatening. So what? Threaten away. Okay.
I agree.
The real fact of the matter, if people would understand it, is that we don't need them. Okay. We need to go back to dealing with ourselves. And Griff was absolutely correct. This whole monetary thing is fraudulent. You cut the debt loose, you take your countries back, and you start over with a monetary system based on something. I don't care if it's rutabagas, but base it on something and take our countries back and then get back to free trade with people. As long as these criminals are allowed to manipulate us, we're going to lose.
Exactly.
No, you're absolutely right.
I have the same attitude when it comes to this country as far as how we should trade that Teddy Roosevelt had. So if there's something wrong with me, there was something wrong with him. And when it comes to Federal Reserve, I have the same attitude that Andrew Jackson had, and I think they know what that means. I don't have to go into it, but and Abraham Lincoln, Howard Taft, I could go on and on. I mean, but the biggest problem right now is I think that what has really pushed us over the edge is trying to make all the pieces to the puzzle fit and figure out a way to pay that guy that's in the union that's making $35, $40 an hour up north. You got to remember, when NAFTA was set in place, there was a manufacturing base in the South. It picked up and left because you can't afford the guy that makes $35 an hour if you're going to pay a guy in South Carolina $14 an hour. So you pick everything up, push it to Mexico, and pay that guy $2 an hour. And now the figure, that's how you make that work. And
and what they did to make a lot of that work, okay, is start just what you're saying. It becomes an infight, okay. It's always divide and conquer, always has been. Okay, they got the people down there, the wage earner, fighting amongst themselves, and the criminals sitting in their penthouses drinking the best scotch on the planet, drinking and smoking the best cigar, looking down on us, laughing their freaking asses off at us. In other words, they write the scripts. They control the play. Until we change the script writers and the players, nothing's going to change.
That's right. Hey, Brian, thank you for the call. Now, Ron, you said that you wanted John Gorman to call in. Well, I just so happen to have John Gorman in queue, so I'm going to bring John Gorman on. John, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I'm very much enjoying your show. First time I've visited.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, Ron,
everything I've heard in the last 5 or 10 minutes is right on target. You guys are talking the right language, and I've been at this since 1981, but I'm just one guy, and I can't believe that I got a radio station that's actually out there talking to the public. Thank you.
Hey, we try for sure, and it's sometimes it's like shoveling poo uphill, but we've I think we've made some real headway here in the short time that we've been on the air, and we'll just keep pounding away until we can't.
Are you aware? Are you aware of my website?
No, by all means, John. Go ahead and give the website.
www.captaincanadacrusades.ca. Everything that you've been saying, I have been putting up for the last 5 or 8 years.
Oh, excellent.
It's sitting on my website. Go visit it if you get an opportunity.
Sure.
Hey, John?
Yeah.
How's Vancouver? I used to live there and miss it like a bitch, but I'm too tall. It rains. I'm 6 foot.
I'm out
5.
here as a realtor as well as a crusader, and my handle out here is Mr. BC. I've just returned from Ontario. I was down there for 5 years. I've been out west as a realtor for 23 years before that. I went back to Ontario. I got kids and grandchildren back there. I've been telling them, kids, it's over. The freedoms that you've had are gone. I'm a lawyer by training. I practiced in Ontario for 10 years, and I told all my children, get rid of your mortgages because it's going to collapse. Canada will not survive what America is going through. If America catches a cold, we're going to get pneumonia. It's just a matter of time.
Well,
so I've just come back to BC.
Having said that, you're just back to BC a few weeks now, eh?
Yeah, just back 3 weeks.
Yeah. Ontario's screwed, okay?
Yes, it is.
I just ran for mayor here. It is a total disaster here. So my wife really likes BC, and we used to live there a long time ago. So I'm thinking of selling the place and booting it out there. And seeing as you are Mr. BC and Mr. Captain Canada, I should be able to get a little lower than like $3,000 a month rent on a mud hut out there, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you sure can. You just got to look around. There's lots for rent. I just rented my place. I'm moving in tomorrow. But if you're going to sell now. Under my website, I have a section at the top. It's called Economic Depression. 5 years ago, as I was telling people, as a realtor, if you're going to sell now because it's going to collapse. Now, on the positive side.
That's funny you bring that up because when I was in BC in 81, I had some companies wanting me to go be a realtor at the time, and there was a 6-month waiting list to get your license. And I told them at the time, I said, by the time I get my license, this will have imploded. And it did right on schedule. And Ontario was about to bite the bullet. But, John, what I really want to talk to you about is George. Now, George,
absolutely.
I've only known for 2 years. You've known him for a long, long time.
Sure have.
And you got to take. I'm a lot like George is, and I believe you're the same character. Is that we believe in moral rights, and we believe in real law, and having the experience you've had with George, I'm going up there tomorrow to do some videotaping. So give us your thoughts on George, and having been a lawyer. Give us your thoughts on where this thing's headed to, if you could.
Sure will. I've known George since 1981. I met him because of the bank fraud of changing interest rates going up to 21.5% overnight. All of my clients in real estate, like I was a lawyer back there, were losing their homes. And then I saw a group of farmers, the Grey Bruce Survival Association, driving up and down Owen Sound with guns, carrying guns to fight the foreclosures. I got in my car. I drove to Owen Sound. I met George. I said, George, this is not a fight of Grey Bruce. Nobody knows who Grey Bruce is. This is a Canadian. You're a Canadian and you're a farmer. And we'll call it the Canadian Farmers Survival Association, and we'll go across Canada. I went across Canada twice. Are you there?
No, we're all here. We can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I got cut off.
Nope.
George stood with me. His home was being foreclosed. We managed to save it. And I used a small statute there in Ontario called the Unconscionable Transactions Relief Act. And repeatedly, through the media, I taught lawyers, use this act, go to a judge and say it's unconscionable that the banks can change the interest rates from 7.5% to 20% when they've given all this money to the farmers for the combines. So we met, we fought, and we've both been hurt over the years, but neither of us have quit. He today